Hi guys, I'm David with the Disponett Experience, and today we're hanging out with Fouad and Isa, and they are both barbers. And I've had both of you guys on over like the last year, but sure. You guys have teamed up. I know you guys work in the same barbershop, but you guys have teamed up to start your own barbering school to help the next generation of barbers out. And I'm quite intrigued to talk to you about it and kind of figure out how you built this whole business up. It's So tell us a little bit about it. You know, give us a little background. What's it been like? I mean, both of you have started businesses. Both of you have been successful. But this is one of the first times I've seen either one of you do something with another person, building something on a skill set that you guys have been doing for the last, 10, 15 years now.
For sure.
Go ahead, you go.
Yeah, Froukh.
I mean, how did you guys get started? So, like, when did you guys just decide, you know what, I love to cut hair, but now I'm ready to teach. How did that conversation start? Where did you guys come? How did that happen? When did you guys decide out of everybody in the barbershop, we're going to work together and build a school?
It was something been talked about for a long time. Right? It's been years. We always brought it up, after the shop was closed, we would just talk this and that.
Right.
But we never really took action. But it was always in our plans, or we would like to do something that we thought we always were supposed to do.
This always been talked about for years.
Okay.
But it never got put in action.
So what was the thing that moved you guys into action?
We saw the need. We saw for how long we're going to continue to talk about this. It's time to really take action.
Right. But I mean, was it were both of you in a better place in life? Were you guys at a place to why hadn't you guys started? Why hadn't you,
the biggest thing is because as we were, as we are building it, Cuts Online, it was always a hard time trying to find a barber, right? And
that's
something that always...
So you guys are very focused on that business and trying to get to a point to where you could pull back a little bit. Yes, because we always wanted to grow
and need help. And then, we always had these issues of finding just somebody that we could fit in there and grow the family. And that's kind of what we always went back and forth, right?
Yeah, the reason why we always went back and forth on that is because, he said, we always struggled in finding someone who comes out of barber school that is full prepared to hit the field and to be ready.
Right. Because I know that both of you believe, and we've talked about this, me sitting in the chair, but that the next generation, these generation of barbers that are coming out now, they have to have, there's a lot more pieces to the puzzle now.
Yeah,
for sure.
To be successful.
For sure.
The game has definitely
completely
changed in the last 10 years.
Absolutely.
A lot.
I mean, you changed my life when you when you showed me what a legit shape up was. I remember coming to see you the first time.
Sure.
Straight razor,
I walk out and my everything's crispy. Never had that done before. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I was like, okay. So I had 2 barbers for a while because I kept going to the guy that always cut my hair, but I always came to you for my beard.
For sure.
So you just can't cheat on your barber like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, the main thing is we get tired of not being able to find people who are ready. That's coming out of barber school.
So you feel like you're still teaching them coming into the shop.
For sure. All the time. The most fundamental things that you will think that if someone graduates barber school, they should know these things. Come to find out no, they need actual training. They need actual more focus.
So are these schools sticking to more a very strict curriculum, and they're not kind of painting outside the line so that these kids are getting these newer skills or are getting equipped with the basics? Because I'm guessing the basics have probably changed in the last 10 years.
The basics really, and the expectation from schools, and that's what the culture have been for the past many years.
Trying to just crank kids out, pass the test, teach them how to pass the test.
All the requirement is from us is to let you pass the test, and that's it. And now it's become to the point where that is not good enough. Passing the test only is not good enough.
Are these kids... Our younger barbers, whoever graduating, I mean, do a lot of them fail out? Are they not even good enough to be barbers if they pass the test?
Yes.
Are you seeing that happen too?
That's the gap, because what me and him saw a lot is, because it changed. Like you said, a lot of things changed with the whole barbering industry and keeping up with social media and all that. So when a lot of these people come out of barber college, David, they're not 8-9 months, and then they're done. Their career is out the way. And you spend all this time and all this money is because they're not being taught the whole game to start with, because they just think you just got to cut hair and then you're done. That's why we named it the Business or the Barbering Institute, is because there's more than two just cutting hair. You got to have the whole aspect business. You're running your own personal business.
Well, I guess what I was asking is just in general to hair cutting, right? Are they graduating from school and still don't have the proper skill set to at least cut hair?
For sure.
Like not even to take all those other things that you're talking about to complete the package. They just need to worry about being able to cut hair good enough to like make money, right?
For sure.
All right, so you're seeing that kind of fail as well sometimes.
For sure, absolutely. That's why like a lot of barbers, a lot of students once they graduate barber school, they'll go into the field and that don't last. They only last for a maximum of a year. Next thing you see, they get a second job. Now they're focusing on the second job, then their actual career. And next thing you see, they drop their career and then they focus on their main job, move on to something else. And that's like, it drives me insane to see.
Yeah. Well, I do know that the both of you do a really good job of mentoring any of your people. I mean, honestly, who's the you have a new female that just started working?
Kristen Cuts. Shout out Kristen Cuts.
She's awesome.
She's different.
But literally, I would
She's different.
for like months. Every time I come see you, she was like there watching, learning. Like this is before she even was working for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like this is when she was still in school.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. Actually, I've seen a couple kids. Who's the white kid that I can't think.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Yes,
came a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe a year, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Game,
he's been with us for like shout out Nate,
Yeah, man.
dog, my guy Nate.
Like these kids are these younger barbers. Just the mentoring that you guys did too. I'm guessing,
and that's the thing because you have to figure out the formula, and like we've tested it like throughout the years to see what works and what don't work, and just like anything else, you figure out the formula, you're bound to get there. So we've seen that proven to work. That's why kind of initiated more the spark of there's got to be some more because it's not just us. There's everybody wants good barbers, everybody wants good businessmen, whatever. And they're not, there's not, and around the area where we're at, that's not offered as much.
Right.
And that's where we've seen kind of like.
Right. You're not just trying to teach the skill set of barbering. You're trying to teach them how to walk out, be financially stable, and understand how to succeed and move up in this world.
Yes.
Like the barbering world in general.
Because it changed a lot.
So what have been some of your guys' uphill challenges? I mean, you guys finally decided, I guess, took action, what a year ago? Has it been about a year now?
Yeah, a year and some change. I remember we were sitting on my back patio where me and Isa talking about it, and I looked at Isa and I was like, bro, I'm just tired and sick of just keep talking about this and not actually making it happen. And Isa was like, I'm ready to make it happen. I was like, let's make it happen. So we called the State Board of Barbering, and we found out that we need to study on the books, what books we need to study on to get prepared. And I was like, hey, worst scenario, I'll just go take the test, and I fail. If I pass, I pass.
Right.
We studied on the book, and whatever we prepared, and then we went, and we passed. But that's where the challenge
you guys have
started.
you guys still had to do schoolwork, right? You guys had to do.
Well, you study on the book and then you go and take a test whenever you feel like you're ready.
Oh, but I know you guys are going to a barbering school.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. After you
up.
pass, go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's school.
Yeah. It's like Froukh was saying, in order to do all that, to become an instructor, once we decided we were going to move forward with it, it was actually a lot more than me and him anticipated.
For sure.
There's like 3 parts to it. You got to take the test, and you got to go take the practical, and then so once we got into the first stage, which was taking the test, and we got with that, we had to go teach, and you were asking us what we taught.
We had to do 600 hours as like an intern.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I remember you guys talking about that.
Exactly.
Under an established school that needs to be established for minimum 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that wouldn't allow us to go into the same program. So we both wanted to go into the same school and teach at the same program. And the Board of Barbering already knew what we were up to. So they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Like Froukh will go to school A, Isa will go to school B.
Which was a good thing in the long
Which is a
run.
great thing.
Because I'm sure you both are going to bring different things to the table that you learned.
And
for
in the
sure.
end, it made sense.
The school that I went to and I taught at, it wasn't structured as business structured, or I wouldn't say like that, but I will say they were not as strong as the school that Isa went to. Isa went to a real life college, and they had structure, they had more expectations and stuff like that. For me, the school that I went to is it was more privately owned, no structure. They just been open, they just been flowing. which is that's a school that I went to when I became a barber.
So what was it like teaching for the first time? Because I guess you guys had to get the 600 hours. So I mean, you're now teaching,
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing. Once we're like, all right, well, this is it. Like, we got to put ourselves in the mindset. In the beginning, it was tough because we always would call each other in the beginning, because it's one thing is cutting hair, but then breaking it down and trying to show this person and helping them out, and then dealing with all types of people and, personalities. So that was a pretty good challenge.
It was very challenging.
It was a pretty big challenge. Like,
well, it's going to let you know if you're actually going to be able to teach.
and
or
I'm
not,
so
'cause
glad
you're going
that,
to have to do
here
this
in
for real.
Exactly.
Under
In
your own
Kentucky, they
business.
require that, and I'm kind of glad that we did do that, because it kind of broke us down a little bit and kind of gave us a perspective of what we're about to dive in.
Right.
And that was pretty.
It was very frustrating every day, especially like for me. I dived in. I went in like every day of the week. I moved from the shop to the school. I was cutting most of my clients in the school, and I was demonstrating.
Really?
Yeah, I was demonstrating every haircut that I was doing to my students in the school, and it was very challenging because like I learned it was like different type of people, different type of learners. You have some people are visual, some people like you have to break things down step by step. So it was very, very challenging, but that really showed me that I'm in it for the right reason.
Right.
Like it cleared more for the vision for me. Like, this is it. Like I am on the right path.
Do you feel like you were able to help each individual type of learner and identify it, or you think you're going to get better over time?
Yeah, obviously, you will get better
right.
over time, but like you can tell like in the beginning, like I was being like very frustrated of how like students weren't like showing up on time. Like first when I started, like that's one of the things that I struggled with, that I was very, very, very committed, and
Not everybody's as committed as you.
and not everybody as committed as me. And school starts at like 9 o'clock and students don't show up until like 11, 12, so that was one of the challenges that I had to face and set the culture in the school. Like, hey, if you don't show up, like you're not getting your hours. And I was so thankful that the main instructor allowed me to take charge being on the floor. So it really showed me like the things that if I open up my own school, or when I open up my own school, these are some of the things that I have to face.
A lot of do's and don'ts. That was the biggest thing, because once we knew that, hey, we got to put in this time, because we thought we're supposed to do that only when we initiate and do our own planning.
Right.
But when we found out that we got to get that experience in, that's why me and him throughout that whole year, which was like the whole last year, we're just back and forth taking notes. Like, this is what we really think works and what we know is best and what's not. So.
Did you guys have like weekly meetings or something?
Absolutely.
Where you went over?
Oh yeah, almost every day. Every day. Like as
Yeah.
soon as I leave the school, I'll call Isa. If Isa's busy, he'll call
Our
me
wives
back.
get
Like,
pretty upset, by the way, because they're like, you guys are always on the phone with each other. Like,
but it was like a lot of sharing information, like a lot of stuff that I don't want in my program. Like
Right.
that's one thing that I learned, and I took a lot.
You guys,
from
so
me
you guys
put-
did a lot of notes then. You
For
guys
sure,
were like
for sure,
constantly
for
writing
sure,
stuff down
for
so
sure.
that you remembered it.
A lot of stuff
Yes.
like I don't want in my school. A lot of stuff like I need to watch out for, so like things don't go that way. So it was very like, I was so thankful. At first, like I was really upset that I had to do the 600 hours and I had to pay $6,000 for my 600 hours. And I'm
then
doing
you did all the work.
I'm doing all the work, and I'm
Like
paying
everything.
for it.
for the free 99.
For you know
But
what I
no,
mean? And
Were
you
you
pay for
paying the
experience.
barber school?
And
no,
the
yeah,
knowledge.
you pay the program, you pay the barber school.
But you got
So this unstructured program was charging you $6,000 to like help them make more money.
Basically,
part of
yes.
the program, part of the part of the
Basically.
I know
game.
it's part of the game, but
You
what
gotta
I'm
pay
saying
to
is,
play.
And they're like, hey, you're learning. Their perspective was like, you're learning on my time. You're learning on my hour. You're learning in my house. You know.
Right.
So
what? How much did it cost for you? Was it
Same thing. It cost me $6,000.
okay?
And I was all the way. It posted like it was an hour away. So
I know.
that whole thing
'cause
was, man, it was just crazy. I mean, but looking back now, it's like
it's over with. Man.
that's what it.
You did.
Yes, and that's what it had to happen for us. To
and they
see
give
the-
us like a lot,
vision.
like it cleared the vision for us, because every barber question is like, why there's not many schools? Why there's not many schools? Every barber, You talk to any barber, because there's only 2 schools in Lexington.
Yep.
Is that not enough?
Not enough, no.
There's that many people that
Yes.
want to become
Barbering
barbers.
is a cool
It's
thing. It's a
changed.
trend now. It's changed,
Since-
especially like
listen,
after COVID.
COVID.
Right.
Oh,
The
man.
demand is like so crazy. We're appreciated. We're looked at way
Absolutely.
different now.
One of the fastest
So the
growing
culture's
industries.
changed.
The culture changed completely.
David,
Really?
worldwide, man, the industry is like top 3, man. Just the beauty.
I mean,
the
look it up
nail,
on
what-
Google.
Just everything.
So what is it? Like what changed?
'Cause
people
wanna get
realize,
creative,
yeah.
want to get creative. They had nothing to do with, so when people stay home, they learn how to do this and that, and then with the whole trend, because barbering doesn't just tie into haircuts. You know, it involves fashion, music. So that's why a lot of these things now has become a trend. Like Fouad said, they come in there, oh, I'm just so cool to do this and that.
Right. Well, I know some NBA
cares?
players have like flown you out to
Oh, yeah.
games to
Yeah.
cut their hair, right?
Yeah. So, it just, why did it change? It's because like people realized when COVID shut down, you don't understand like how many people like hit me up like, dude, I know I'm not doing anything, but I really need my haircut.
Right.
It's just like a boost self-esteem. You know what I mean? It makes the guy feels good about themselves. And that's what really like made other people, the public, appreciate it. And like even like parents are telling their kids like, hey, if you don't want to go to school, that's fine. But like barbering is a good option now. Like barbering is a great option. I know that happened like to a couple people. Like, hey, if you don't want to go to school, that's fine. But like you need to figure out what do you want
Right.
to do. And barbering was one of those options.
Well, I didn't know it'd become so trendy. Like
Yes.
I do know that I'd seen it change from just regular haircuts, make sure the beard looks a little,
every time,
cut
yeah.
up, but it's not necessarily shaped up. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like everyone's got to like it's got to look this, it's got to look like.
And then
like art almost.
the new wave of barbers are like,
Are they good? I mean, are
they
the good
are
ones
like
good?
They're not just only good, but they are more creative, and that's what makes barbering more trendy. Because like a lot of people make like creative videos like on TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels, and like it's just more challenging in that aspect. So.
Right.
The challenge to the older barbers that's been in the game, that people like barbers been in the game for 15, 20 years.
Right.
And when those barbers started, there was no Instagram. There was no, Reels or
None
TikTok
of
or
that.
any of that. And now there's that. So that comes with the new generation.
Okay.
The new generation applies pressure in that aspect. You know what I mean? They might not be great at cutting hair, but they're really good at doing TikToks and Reels and things like that will get them that more exposure. So that
then
will
they can learn to
overcome
cut.
exactly. That will overcome their challenges. So
that's one of the things that I know you guys want to add to your.
for sure, that's one of the things that Isa, you can talk about like the background when you worked at the barbershop in on Leestown Road, the old school barber.
traditional cuts
Yeah,
and-
traditional cuts and stuff like that. That's what we want to merge in together. The traditional cuts with the new wave, put them together and prepare our barbers. First, when they graduate, they are ready. They're up to date. They're
Right.
ready. They're not just behind. I don't want you to be only good enough at just cutting hair. No, I want you to be good enough at video editing. I want you to be good enough at social media. I want you to be good enough at consistent
Are you
as a
guys going to
barber.
teach some type of finance or business? Something like
Yeah, we're gonna offer a little bit of everything, man. Like
setting up LLCs, that kind of stuff too? Like
whatever that involves, like we said, because we named it the biz. I don't even know if we brought up the name or not.
I
But
don't think we have.
yeah, but so yeah, the name of the college, the barber college, we're going to be opening
Yeah.
up is the Business of Barbering Institute, and like our main focus with that is to do not just cutting hair, like Fouad said, is bring more like you have to do financial class, bring a videographer, something like that, teach them more, kind of add everything up, promoting, advertising, making clients, bringing clients in for themselves. So we're going to be trying to be touching base on everything that they're going to have to be dealing for them to last more than 8 months.
Right.
And to keep growing their business,
The reason why we call it Business of Barbering
up the
Institute, the reason why we call it Business of Barbering Institute because it's bigger than just cutting hair.
Okay.
And we realized one day, me and Isa were driving to Nashville, Tennessee, and I told him, I said, this is like, if we decide to take this step, this is like way bigger than me and you and what we imagined. And just be prepared for that. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, we can't just teach him how to cut hair. Like, this needs to be like way bigger than that,
sure.
deeper than that. So like in our curriculum now, like we're going to be teaching, we're going to bring different guests every 3 weeks to touch base on like different topics. So one topic we're going to be talking about real estate investing. We're going to be talking about how you set up LLC. Another topic we're going to be talking about financing. We're going to be talking about accounting, taxes, videography, photography, social media,
So
things
you're
like that.
really going to have them as well rounded as possible.
That's what it takes. I mean, if
That's
you
what
want
it
to,
takes.
if you want to hang in there, because like you said, so much has changed that's
Right.
what it's going to take to keep up in the game, man. If not, then you're just going to half-ass it, and this is not the.
And that's not
career
just
for
only
you.
us like teaching that. We're gonna like I said, in our curriculum, in our program, every 3 weeks we bring a different guest. So
Like a speaker.
you are gonna be on our list. Just to let you know, for
I hope I get to
photography,
help out somehow.
for
Sure.
photography and videography and stuff like that. You come in just the basics, for them to know the basics, not to come out photographers or videographers, but as long as they know the basics,
Use that so they can
use that so they can help themselves, like
Right.
to know what
Well,
they are doing,
I mean,
have enough
also,
knowledge.
Think about if all these kids, all these future barbers, I keep saying kids because usually it's kids to me, but there's adults, older
For
adults.
sure.
sure.
There's really no age cap.
Yeah, there
nowadays.
isn't. But so all these future barbers, if they're all constantly posting social media while they're in barber school and getting better at it, that's also going to really benefit you guys as well. Well, it's just going to help the school elevate too,
For
because
sure.
people are going to see what's coming out of there.
For sure. I mean, people are already anticipating like the outcome of those students. Like we've been hearing a lot, like from a lot of other barbers that
Right.
already like in the field, like, hey, can we enroll back and go back to the school? Can we enroll back for continual education classes to be in the
they'll
school?
take their money,
Because
right?
like
What's the thing? Because we put in the years, David. We put in the hard work. We put in the
You
the
you
time,
guys
the
should
quality,
offer.
and-
You guys should offer if people are really serious about that.
continue education
You
classes.
should offer a continuing education class that they can pay for.
definitely options throughout the years.
But you don't legally have to they don't have to retake the test or anything.
No.
So it would just be something that you guys hear for $2,000 or X amount of dollars. Like these are the classes that you
Those
could,
things are like definitely been put down, but they are put down to the side right now. Our
Right.
main
I'm just
focus is
saying
like
for
the
the future.
fundamentals, but like for sure, that's like we have thought about that. We have talked about that
other revenue streams.
for
right?
sure, for sure.
But the biggest thing, David, is what our vision has always been, man, is to like mold this person into just a good all-around businessman.
Right.
To be able to talk to people, because this type of work, you have to be able to people person. A lot of people don't have that.
So
you have to
what's
break
called
that
soft
down.
skills, right? Soft skills
Exactly.
are extremely important. We talked about
Absolutely.
this with Ben Harzog when we had him in. He's
Okay.
He's the media arts director at Dunbar. So
Okay,
he teaches, he works with high school, and we talked about our high school kids, but we talked about this kids' soft skills. They don't know how to communicate properly.
Leadership,
and you're going to need
communications.
that. You may not, well, I mean, really in your business, I mean, can you make it if you cannot communicate well?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
That hurts you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. But can you make
won't be
it?
able to make it.
Like you're probably going to fizzle out, right?
Yes.
For sure.
Or you're never going to develop the full skill
For
set that you
sure,
could.
but that's one of the things. Like also, like I saw in schools, in barber schools, that people don't focus on, which is client consultation. You gotta know, you gotta be able to read the client when the client want
Right.
to talk and when the client don't want to talk. That when the client want to vent and the client don't want to vent. So you do a client consultation with first when the client sit down for you to know like how to go about how to make the experience for the client great. You know what I mean?
So Isa never gets it right. I never want to talk to him when he cuts my hair, but this motherfucker's always
That's why he
chatting
always
my
comes
fucking
back.
ass off. It's like I come in, I look angry, I try to make he's just gonna start talking to me. I'm not getting out of it.
so
But that is the thing, though, man. That's what our vision, just
Right.
to elevate, especially the younger generation and just overall better person within whatever that it is, man.
So-
Every daily life stuff, man.
You guys finished your 600 hours, right?
Yep, for
so
sure.
what were the next steps in getting a barber college off the ground here?
after the 600 hours, you go back and you do a practical test, which is you actually have to meet with the barber board
Okay.
members, and
Right.
then you teach a practical, which is you take a real life model with you, you do a haircut, shave, shampoo, and facial. And then after that, they ask you questions, which is an oral test.
Okay.
And they ask you like general questions about barbering, and they want to make sure that you're able to
Competent.
teach. Yeah, you're able to teach. So a couple of them, they will ask you different questions at the same time, and they want to make sure that you're able to control the classroom.
Do you know most of these people, by the way? Or
No.
Really? So you haven't met them through?
No, we met them through the time, but like they are just board members. You know, I don't have like a relationship with them.
Right, but I was just saying, you're so far into the barbering community here that you know who they are.
Yes,
you guys
for sure.
Bump shoulders
For
before.
sure.
So it's not like you're going into a room full of people you've never met before.
Well, yeah, there's few that I never met before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you knew every barber.
No. Well, they are like board members, so they're not as active as
you guys, of course.
Yes, as like being just a barber in the field.
I feel like that's important, though. They need to be active to
But
understand
like the
today's...
board like in Kentucky is like a lot older.
Okay.
So like
a lot.
Yeah,
like
all that.
It's like actually
a lot older.
Here.
So they're more like towards the old school way.
So you both had to go through this
for sure.
Did you
man,
do it together or was it separate?
Separately, same system, but like what I was saying, man, was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, but that was what it really took now for us to really realize and know what we really want to be to do in that whole program itself. Right. So it makes them more confident and really see that. So that's why I feel like we're just more than prepared ever to see the vision and the picture that it needs to be out there. So it was definitely challenging. It was fun at the same time.
So what was the next steps after that? I'm guessing that
after that we passed
that with flying colors.
We passed, and after that we started looking for our location.
Okay. Now, was this part also where you had to explain your curriculum, or have you done that yet? I know Isa was telling me that you guys had to kind of provide the curriculum.
No. You pass the test, and then we scheduled an appointment for us to go meet with them and present the school whenever the curriculum and the handbook.
The curriculum from scratch,
we did.
right?
We did. We hired a team.
Minus I'm guessing there's already a preset curriculum that you have to follow, right?
Yes, from the board.
The criteria, the book work,
right, but outside of that, you had to write all the extra elements and things that you were going to do that might be different than another
for
barber.
sure. Absolutely. For sure.
How hard was that?
That was extremely hard because we didn't know that was the hardest thing, honestly. That was a whole different.
I think that would be the hardest thing for me, just thinking about all this.
Yeah,
because you have to be creative. You have to be the artist in the manner of speaking, right?
Yes, I opened up a business before, multiple businesses before.
Let's be honest, not just something.
And when it comes to that, you building the actual business from ground up,
right?
And you focusing more on the labor, you focusing more on the construction, you focusing more on the menu and stuff like that, right? In this type of business, you're building two things at the same time, which is the physical aspect and the educational aspect. And they're both
very crucial.
Huge. They both are huge, very challenging. The most challenging thing for me was the educational, because this is the first time that I do something like that. You know what I mean? I didn't know how.
You have the knowledge base, but it's figuring out how to translate that into a way that someone can understand it.
Exactly.
Totally
and there's different
different
views, different looks, different. It's just a different element,
right?
That I'd never been through. So it was very challenging. We had to hire a legal team that knew that's what they do for a living. We had to pay. We had to visit different barber schools. We traveled to Pennsylvania for a very successful barber school.
Oh, really? Did you guys just go hang out with them for a day or something?
Well, we called them. We did a mentorship program for 3 days, training. We paid a lot of money for 3 days to train, but we really wanted to.
Did you learn a lot?
Oh, yes,
yeah, we did.
Sure,
we did. What's the name of the school? Premier
Barber
Institute. Shout out Tariq. Yeah, shout out my guy Tariq, man. Premier Barber Institute. He spilled all the juice to where we almost it was a lot of juice.
Yeah. Really?
It was juicing. It was draining.
That's why you guys are looking bulky today.
Yeah, it was a lot of juice. It was a lot of juice. Shout out my guy Tariq.
That's awesome. Okay, so when you guys went in, you guys went in. So
we went in.
So you guys had to build the curriculum. So for you, that was the hardest thing.
That was the hardest thing. The most challenging, the most frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, I almost gave up. I almost looked at Isa. I called Isa multiple times. Bro, is this really worth it? What the fuck? I didn't know that I was signing up for this shit.
A lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges.
A lot of highs and lows. It really cleared the vision why there's not a lot of barber schools. Why a lot of barbers don't want to do that.
Well, you do have to have a certain level of intelligent understanding of whatever skill set you're trying to teach somebody to actually be able to put it on paper. Because it's one thing to verbally be okay, so this is how we do a fade or we do this cut or whatever, right? Or
it's deeper than that.
Right? but when it goes onto a piece
Oh
of paper,
my God.
That's whole
and you have to follow what you put on that piece of paper,
It's tough.
you really have to think about
To
it.
really make the piece of paper was tough.
Yeah. How many pages did you guys end up
Oh,
having to do?
fuck.
For what's that?
Oh, Isa.
For the
Are
curriculum?
we talking like? Are we talking 400 or 500?
Oh God.
You talking more?
I
I
don't
mean,
even talk about the catalog.
David, we
Yeah, yeah,
printed, we wanted to print
But
that.
some of it was already pre-built, right? So some of it you didn't have to build, like because it's like already built.
Everything was
Everything's
made from
custom
scratch,
made.
David.
Everything
Scratch.
custom made. Everything from
Everything
So they
scratch.
just had
man.
guidelines, and you had to build the curriculum around their guidelines.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so they didn't already have like a pre-made
No,
no, no.
curriculum.
They just give you
and
a
then
book.
you add
David,
to
they
it.
give you a book.
They
that's
give you a book
23
and they say,
chapters.
okay, you got 1,500 hours.
Right.
935 hours needs to be for cutting hair. 40 hours for shaving.
Yeah, they
100
break it
hours
down
for
to that.
this.
Oh,
And, but you'll have to break
so
the
you
hours
guys
down.
like built this thing from
You got
scratch.
biology, you got anatomy,
Fuck
you got all this
me.
other stuff you got to teach.
Basically.
Yeah.
That was me.
So you had to fill in all those hours and figure out what you're going to do day in and day out.
Yes.
How long did
For
that take
15
you?
the whole
David,
year.
we met, me
The
and
whole
Isa.
year.
I told Isa.
Fuck,
And
man.
that, honestly, that's pretty
This is
impressive.
insane.
Still.
I told Isa in November of 2021. Yes. I told Isa, I said, listen, if we're going to take the ride, like we need to start
on the
right
way out.
now.
Right.
Jeff
And he was
Bezos.
like, what do you mean? And I was like, right now. This is not like something that we can do within a month or two. Like this is like, it's going to take a whole year.
Yeah.
Right.
And we used to meet like every Sunday with different people that we hired on Zoom to gather information, push shit together every freaking Sunday.
Right. Because I know you
Another
guys had some
team,
people
man.
help do some of the writing.
For
right?
sure.
To make something great, you have to have a team, bro. You can't do it by
Well,
yourself.
100%.
I mean,
know what I'm
Tariq, check this out. After we gathered all the information
Okay.
and we put all the shit together and we are 90% ready, we contacted my guy Tariq at Premier Barbering Institute. And we're like, Tariq, we'd love to come out and shadow you for like 3 days. And we got a lot of questions. And he was like, send me all the questions that you have. Let's put it on the date.
Okay.
Long story short, we put it on the date. We booked a flight from here, me and Isa, to Philly. And we started shadowing for 3 days. Monday all day, Tuesday all day, Wednesday all day.
Just exchanging information back and forth, man. And he really saw that vision. Too.
Yeah,
He did.
and he was like so helpful to really give us like the ins and outs. And why we chose his school, because it's very successful. It's very well known.
Great
It's very
program.
successful. Great program. We wanted to learn from a great program that's
Good
been
people.
like successful.
Right.
That saw the highs and the lows. And man, we went into that program and it was just like mind blowing.
Like, did you guys go back home
In a
and have to
good way.
change some of your curriculum after watching
Oh
that?
fuck yeah.
Sure.
Really?
Fuck yeah. For the 3 days, just
it
to
was
let
great
you know.
and frustrating, I bet, wasn't
For the
it?
3 days,
sure.
for the 3 days, I mean, we didn't know what to expect, like how much it's going to cost us.
Right.
You know, we went there, before we went, we told Tariq, like, yo, how much is it going to cost us for us to come and shadow you? You know, we value your time. And he was like, you know, to be honest, just come out here and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So we flew all the way there not knowing how much it's going to cost us.
Dedicated, man. That's what it was.
For
Like,
the
we
3
just wanna-
days, David, $5,000.
Is what he charged you?
For 3 days, $5,000.
Damn.
That's how committed we were, and we still are. And we're so hungry. Like, it's a lot of money, but it was well worth it.
So you guys got a location already, right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
how has that been building out? I mean, so like you've made your curriculum, you passed all this stuff, but you still have an uphill battle. Like you still
Yeah,
got to
that's
Like
what-
I said,
Location.
you know, it was like more educational building program and more like construction and like the actual building and the
Right.
actual like contractors and this and that. It was just a lot. I'll
Where you
let
guys gonna
Isa
be at?
tell you about.
What is it?
Where are you guys going to be at?
The physical address going to be at 208 Legends Lane, which is over there by the Legends baseball field.
Is it right next to like the Dollar General?
Yes.
The shopping center right there.
Save
Right
a lot,
there.
Dollar
Really? Okay,
General.
yeah.
Yes, on Broadway, South Broadway.
Yeah, of course. I know exactly where you guys
Yeah.
are talking about. I didn't even know anything was open
Yeah.
over there.
South or north? I don't know. It
South
don't
Broadway,
fucking
South
matter.
Broadway.
Is it
we
just
on
going to be you
Broad-
two starting off? Or are you going to have other instructors?
We have Queen B, Queen
We have
Brenda
another
Yates,
teacher, Miss Yates, is going
Miss
to be
Yates,
helping
Brenda
us out.
Yates.
So there's three
Part
of
the
you
team.
starting
Yep,
off.
Yeah.
3 instructors for sure.
Okay.
For sure. But that was the thing, like Fouad was just touching base on, is once we really found out, like, man, this is nothing to joke with. Like, it's either you do it the right way or
Right, of
don't
course.
even do it. It was cool that because, you know, we have the same mindset, the same drive. and we just pushed, because taking his talents and my talents and bringing them together, and it was, obviously challenging ups and downs, but it was very enjoyable, and it was big learning stuff every day because, like you said, dealing with the construction part, there's just so much phases to it, man, and anything really never goes the way you want to or when you want to.
Right.
But it was good that we're able to just bounce the energy back and forth and be like, hey, man, it's all be worth it one day, because our main purpose has always been and will be to just elevate, man, especially this younger generation, man, to just be better overall. You know what I'm saying? And we firm believers in that, and I feel like me and him both know that this is the path that God's put us in, so we're gonna take it full Jeff Bezos mode, man, and take.
So how's it gonna affect your guys' cuts? Like,
that's the $1 million question, David.
guys
That
don't
we
know that
haven't
yet.
got the answer yet.
You don't know how it's gonna affect
Listen,
the
me and him
day-to-day.
both been cutting over 10 years, man.
Have you guys thought about?
David,
I mean, almost.
Listen,
I wouldn't
over
say
10 years,
retiring,
David,
but
all
like
these
cutting
people-
way
as
back.
many people as we cut,
I
and
know,
as
man.
many people as Isa
You got
cut.
a lot of dedicated. Both
Check
of you have
this
a lot
out.
of dedicated.
Check
clients.
this out,
Dedicated.
David. Every single motherfucker that sits down on my chair, that's the first question to ask. Bro,
gonna cut my
what's
hair,
gonna happen
man?
to my hair? Where are you gonna cut my
Yeah,
hair?
because apparently you are the only person that
Well, I mean,
knows
you
how to
build
cut
that
hair.
relationship, man.
Well,
you
no,
build
but
But
that-
I know what you're
like,
saying. No, yeah, exactly. Like
It's the
it feels
comfort
weird
level.
going to
It's
somebody
just-
else,
it's
right?
not a haircut. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you come in there just
there's
to
more.
kinda-
There's more than a cut if you're doing it right.
For sure.
Exactly, and
sure.
that's the thing that they keep asking us, man. But I think we'll play that out as we go.
I think you're
because-
gonna have to if you
for
don't know.
sure, but we're willing to dive in, man. We're already in the deep ocean now, so we just
And I told Isa, like,
maneuvering.
This
honestly,
is the next big step in your life, though.
for sure.
For sure.
This
Big
is the
changes.
biggest challenge
Yeah.
that I ever faced
same thing.
as a businessman.
Craziest everything.
So, are you guys going to be charging the same as everybody else? Barber college? You're going to be cheaper, more expensive?
We're
Like-
gonna be charging, honestly, whatever like we think that it's worth best for everyone, and what
Well,
the
but I'm
knowledge we
saying
got.
like there's two other barber shops, right? And I'm guessing
Barber
there's
schools?
barber schools.
Sorry.
Yeah,
barber
you got
schools.
it.
Barber
You're good.
schools. Two other
You're good.
barber schools in Lexington, you said, right? And I'm guessing they both don't cost the same.
Dave, there's
Almost.
no competition.
No,
The only competition is
yourself.
us.
Right.
We need to get better every day. So we didn't care what other barber schools are teaching or
Right.
what other barber schools are charging. We evaluated our price based on
The knowledge,
the
and
knowledge
quality.
and
Yeah,
the
well,
quality and the
exactly.
information that we're gonna give.
Yep.
We
Which
are
means
more
I think You should be
expensive.
charging more expensive.
We are more expensive.
in my opinion.
We are more expensive than the other barber schools.
Okay, okay. That's
We
what I
are.
figured. You should be.
Yeah, even though we're newer, like everybody's like, man, you should be cheaper so you can attract more
Yeah.
clients. But no,
You guys
Our
are
clients-
literally
man.
at
We
the
know
top
the
of the
quality.
food chain in Lexington when it comes to getting
There,
cuts.
we have proven the quality. You know what I'm saying? We have put in.
That's
the
why
work.
we
put in
tested the market
time.
out
You guys are the top
tomorrow.
of the food chain in Lexington.
So
Done
tomorrow,
the homework.
what you do,
know?
yeah.
tell them
back
what's
end.
tomorrow, Isa.
Yeah, tomorrow, man, is the first day, David. So all this anticipation, man. It's our first day. We've had a lot of marketing we've been doing, and we've hired teams for that. And so tomorrow's our first day of enrollment. Like we're going to be opening up the books to the people that signed up and got registered to BBI. So it's a big, exciting day for us tomorrow. We shall see. We got pretty limited spot because we have a big inquiry about
You guys
it.
need to text 833-587-2329.
That's the number if you want to get in,
Text
David.
BBI
There you go,
BBI
the number.
to get into the juice.
So how long is the enrollment for?
As far as the program? Yeah. So you have to get 1,500 hours by state law.
No. Like the enrollment. Like if
For the people that texted that
when is the first day of actual class?
Oh, the first day of a class.
class is unknown yet. We don't know
It'll
yet.
be in March sometime.
So you'll have enrollment open for the next
but
2
not
months, pretty
exact
much.
date.
Yes.
For sure. Because everything.
We
is
have the
wrapping
number for people to subscribe to let us know like if they're interested or not and who's interested or not. And for the past month, we have over 40 people that texted that phone number, and we get every day. Me and Isa get DMs yo, when is the opening day? How can I apply? Where's the application at? How can we
big
apply?
into-
How
Can people
we
get
apply?
government assistance at all? Any type of assistance?
Eventually, you just got.
So that's not part of the program at the moment.
Not right now. You have
No.
to be in business 2 years before you become eligible to apply for that,
And then get certified?
And then
For sure.
to get certified,
Okay.
it takes another 2 years.
I was
So
interested
it's
to
all
know.
4 years
prove,
before you get to that.
Got to prove what you're
So
doing.
is your guys' type of barber college technically could you get approved by the VA to work with veterans
For
and
the
stuff?
VA, yes. For VA, yes.
So this would be something that the VA would pay for.
For
This
sure.
would count under
For
whatever
sure.
their
Absolutely.
umbrella.
For sure.
because as a veteran, I've used my VA benefits multiple times, and it's super helpful. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that don't want to go to college. They want a skill set that they can make money right here, right now.
For sure.
And plus, like you said, barbering is it's different than it once was.
For sure.
But tomorrow is the first day, man, and we're excited. And like we said, hopefully we're gonna get a good group to start with, and it's gonna be a great experience, man. It's gonna be a lot. Yeah,
like from now on,
stuff.
once people apply, that's when we start doing interviews with these students that applied one at a time to see if they are the right fit for us or not, or if we are the right fit for them.
So you aren't just going to take anybody and everybody.
We can't.
How many people can you have in a class?
Pure license, we can have 20 students. So me and him
is that all
40
at once?
Students.
Or is that like broken up in different times of the day? You have different
all at once.
Okay, it'd be all at once.
Yeah. But yeah, like a lot of people are saying like, oh man, once you all guys open up, you're going to shut the other barber schools down. And that's not our goal. That's why we are more expensive. If we're in competition with the other barber schools, we'll be way cheaper and we take all the people.
Well,
but
if
that's
you can
not
only
what we
take
want.
20 people, then they got to go somewhere else, right?
Exactly. That's not what we want. We want the other barber schools to stay in business because there's a lot of people that we're not going to be able to accept.
Are people going to be coming in from out of town, you think?
Absolutely.
For
We've
sure.
got people from Cincinnati, Louisville already kind of coming through and signing up. So it's going to be interesting, man, like Fouad was saying. But our main focus is we want the people that's ready to get it going, man, to really put in the work. Because we're going to be putting in the work. And so people that want to work with us together, as a team.
Fouad's got a new friend over there.
Yeah, my man.
Aslan, right?
Aslan.
He's feeling the energy.
But yeah, man, that's what it is, David. That's what we kind of going towards, man. Somebody with a drive that wants it, that's hungry.
Right.
And we want to invest the time, like, they're going to invest their time. And
he's going to come over and say hi to you.
It's very exciting.
I'm excited for you guys.
Very
I really
exciting.
am. I mean, I'm not as excited for my bald look and my beard as much.
It's all good.
We also do have the website. I don't know if we said it out loud. It's bb.institute.
Yeah, I think. Did you pull it up,
If you
Keenan?
want to get more information and
I think Keenan pulled
all
up
the good stuff.
the website. He's probably going to pull it up.
It's going to be very, very interesting, David. It's just going to be changing. I feel like the community needs that, wants that.
Right.
There's a lot of people that want to go barber school, but they don't like the barber schools that already exist in here. So we'll bring like change.
Right. Now, have you guys ever thought about doing some kind of like one student? How long's a semester, or how long are they in?
10 months. 10 months.
So every 10 months, offer like one free enrollment for someone underprivileged.
We definitely talked about it. We want to give one scholarship a year.
That's what I was.
To somebody that really deserves it.
Right. So you guys.
But we definitely like have that in the program. We're not gonna open it from the get go.
Right.
Until we get established and
Plenty
make sure
to figure
that
out, sure.
figure out
there's
how and
logistics
stuff like
there.
that.
Plenty and
but
apply
we
that, for
really
sure.
want to give out once a year a free scholarship to somebody that is
really
like
needs it.
in need.
Okay.
For sure. That's for sure.
All about the community, all about elevating.
Well, that's what I was
man.
asking. You guys kept talking about
So
community
ready.
and being part of it and helping out
Absolutely.
everybody
Absolutely.
here. And I was just thinking, well, a scholarship for someone, because there's some people. I mean, especially until you guys get funding, people are going to be paying out of their pocket.
For
right?
sure.
So like, there's some people that deserve or are skilled enough and deserve it, but they physically cannot afford it.
Exactly.
For sure.
And it sounds all fun and cool and games and all that, David, but it is going to take a lot. Like what I was saying earlier, has been one of the biggest obstacles for myself personally. But it's going to take a lot of, back end work that me and him going to have to put in consistently every day. You know what I mean? Because
you got a whole year of just making
man.
mistake
Grind.
after another.
But the whole year last year, I feel like
mistake, fix it.
Oh my
learn.
God.
mentally prepared ourselves for that.
But
for the
2 or
past
3 years
year.
from now, you'll have your flow down.
For sure.
That's the goal, man.
And I told
enjoy
Isa,
it.
I told Isa since day one. I told him once I figured out like how deep we're going to the point where I figured out like there's no end.
Right.
There's no end. Okay. There's no end to this. I told him. I said, Isa, swear to God, if it wasn't for you, I would have never done
Likewise,
it.
same thing.
I would have never done it with nobody else.
It's a lot.
No, I get it. Well, I mean, you guys have had a long friendship. You know what I mean?
For
you guys
sure.
have been working together and known each other.
For sure.
Shit, I've known both of you for a fucking long time,
It's been
too.
for a long time as well.
Oh, my
Exactly.
God. Yeah. But also, I guess, eventually, do you hope that like some of the barbers that you've been mentoring that work in your guys' shop will eventually become instructors
Man,
and like
we know
part of the
that's-
company?
If anybody
That's
is
it,
interested,
for
I told
sure.
the guys in the shop. We told the
Sure.
guys in the shop. Anybody that is interested to take that route, we are more than happy to help
Absolutely.
them and
Absolutely.
direct them
Because that
and make it
puts
easier
you-
for them. Because for us, we had to figure out. Like I asked one instructor here in Lexington that was in my class when I was a barber, and I knew that he became an instructor. And I called him up and I was like, hey, what's going on, man? I saw like you became an instructor. Congratulations. That's something that I'm interested in doing. Like,
Right.
if you can guide me, like, to let me know, like, what do I need to study on? What do I need to prepare and whatnot and whatever. And he was like, man, you just got to order the books and study on the books. I mean, like, no shit. Like, I already knew that part, but, like, can you really, like, pinpoint, like, what do I need to study on? What do I need to focus on more and whatnot? You know, things like that. And he wasn't helpful enough. Like, no, you just need to call the board and study on the book. Like, I'm like, okay, thanks for the info, you know? But, like, now, since I went through it and I saw the highs and lows, and
You can explain it better.
I can explain it better to where I make it a lot easier for the next generation.
Yeah.
That's one thing that our community and our culture as barbers, we lack off. There's not as many instructors.
Okay.
Okay, and the
So
reason why
do people also covet that? They don't want to like share information.
yes,
Well,
because
it
once
takes a
you
lot
make the
more.
cut,
Hence
once you
why it
make
costs
the
you
cut,
$5,000 to get 3 days of information.
exactly,
It takes a lot more.
not including
And again,
6,000 for the
don't
shadow.
get me wrong. You getting paid for something that the skill set that you've learned to teach somebody is valuable.
And that's the
For
thing.
sure.
Like we know that by just barbering, you can have a good, decent, outcome with that.
Right.
But we knew that it will take also more to try to break that down so everybody can see it because we know it's proven to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think your biggest future challenge is going to be?
Whatever that it comes, I'm ready to take on it. But I know it's
Fuck.
gonna.
Come on, give me an answer.
Okay, this is it. I know it. This is what it is.
What do you- seriously, though, what do you think is
I
gonna
know
be the
that-
hardest thing?
I know the mindset that me and him got. We like perfectionism, this and that, and
Right.
having everybody satisfied. I know that no matter what we're gonna do and how good we're gonna do it, you just can't make everybody happy, and that's something that
that's
you're gonna have
true.
to accept always, especially with this.
So, like,
type
what's
of,
going to be your biggest challenge? Getting
For
this
me,
off
the
ground?
biggest challenge is going to be dealing with people really, and dealing with different personalities with students, because you're not dealing with kids. You're not dealing with kids. You're dealing with adults, people
Right.
that are older than you, younger than you. So like some people that are older than you, they're gonna look at you like, man, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm older than you.
Right.
Like, what the hell, I'm watching YouTube. Like, I'm learning off YouTube, man. Like, these are the challenges that you're gonna face that are like, you just have to stay grounded and really try to break down and deliver the message as good as you can possibly can, and break the ice and learn from others.
Right.
Because I'm not a know-it-all. Like, I'm gonna be learning off my students, so I have to be
So you think
open-minded.
that's going to be the hardest thing for you
For
moving
sure.
forward is knowing when and how to pinpoint and learn. And
For
For
how-
sure. Just because,
For sure.
like you said, we're both going to be new. So especially like knowing the curriculum and, putting it in action and all that. I think once we kind of figure out the flows, because we're going to, like you said, learn back and forth. As long
Right.
as that's why we want to get people that's willing to learn. You learn every day. And I think once we kind of get to that point of knowing how to transition through that to get them ready to
Right.
pass every test they got to come across, I think will be
Right.
probably one
Do
of
you,
the...
do you think you both could comfortably pass the barber test right now?
Oh, we just did.
I'm talking about not instructor, but I'm guessing it's a different test to become a
No, we did
licensed
that.
barber.
We had to go through it back. That's why when there was
Really?
times where
You had
like,
to retake the barber test?
Oh, yeah.
Was it easier the second time around? I'm guessing it was similar, right? Questions and that kind of stuff?
a little bit different because you have to put the instructor aspect of it. But as far as like the practical where you shave and all that, it's the same thing. You got them watching you.
Well,
got
I
them
was talking about
checking you.
the actual written test that you
The
have to
written
take.
test
It's different.
It's different,
a little
right?
bit different.
way different, because it doesn't talk about just barbering.
Yes.
It talks more about like you becoming a teacher.
Same
so it's
stuff,
like going
but
to
in
college.
Right. So I was
Yeah.
talking about the barber test itself.
What about it?
Like just the actual barber test. Is that something you would feel comfortable being able to pass?
Oh, for sure.
Like just be like
Now, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
would it be pretty easy?
For
that
sure.
test would be pretty easy without even studying. Could
For
you probably
sure.
sit down and pass it?
For sure.
That's
Right
what I was
now.
asking. Yeah,
Because we've been going over the information and breaking down the
That's
curriculum
what,
for the past
being a
fucking
instructor,
year.
you should be able to. You
Yes.
should be able to pass the test, right?
Yeah,
In
for sure.
theory, you can't.
For sure.
I mean, I wouldn't think you'd want to teach something that you couldn't pass yourself.
For sure.
Not saying you couldn't, but it's just like how difficult is this test?
Right.
It's
So-
it's a lot of information, but
How long does the test take? Both the instructor and the barber test, like the written. Are they
the
pretty
written,
lengthy?
okay, the written test for the barber, it's 50 questions.
Okay, so it's not horrible.
No, but the written test for the instructor is 100 questions
Yeah,
with the same amount.
I think when I got my certification as a personal trainer, I think it was 120 questions, and you had to get 80% or something like
The same
that.
thing's 80% for us.
Yeah,
to pass.
It was hard. It's a hard test.
Yeah, man.
But we can't wait for the BBI experience to come in reality.
I know, I'm
very
excited.
soon.
BBI is about to take off. Really
gonna be
changes a lot. It's
good
gonna.
stuff.
Our goal is we want to make barbering looked at as a career and not as a hobby.
Right. Well, I don't think people look at it as a hobby.
lot of people look at it as a hobby,
But I
David.
don't think a lot of people also look at it as a legitimate, like, long-term career.
Yes.
Right.
Because a lot of people first when I start cutting hair, a lot of people will be going like, "Oh, so you just cut hair?
Yeah.
You just cut hair?"
A barber?
I'm like,
you know,
"So
another-
you're just a barber?" I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you need me whenever you get married, don't you?" Yeah, motherfucker, you
Every
need me
2
for your
weeks.
biggest like interview in your life.
Yep.
So, but people think that
Right.
people have the aspect because of the unprofessionalism that barbers have
Well, had.
or had.
I don't feel like that.
A lot of barbers
let's
still
put it
have
this way.
that.
There's a certain level of professionalism that
In everything.
that when you walk into your guys' barbershop, right?
sure.
Like, and I wouldn't say that's probably every barbershop, but I'd say most barbershops are transitioning to that style of customer care, client care,
For sure,
right?
man.
You'll have to nowadays because
Yes.
a lot of competition, a lot of challenges, a lot of new barbers, a lot of new things, a lot of new trends.
Well, like we said,
Everything.
the job itself has mentally, physically, it's changed completely.
For sure.
Essential,
Like,
too, essential,
I'm not
man.
even in the barbering. I don't barber at all. But like just someone looking from outside in, coming and seeing you guys. I mean, the both of you for the last 5-6 years. Like I have seen it change. I have
sure.
physically watch the community and the lifestyle. I mean, it's completely changed.
It is. It has. Quick, fast.
Yes.
Yep.
So, well, guys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate
Dave,
taking some
thanks
time.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Like,
Dave.
let me chat with you
Appreciate
about this. I was really interested because I know we've been talking about it for like
sure.
ever
For
coming
sure.
in, but I really wanted. I didn't know all the details, and I was like, what?
This is it, David.
Knowing that you guys. I mean, I knew you guys were working your
We'll
butts
call
off,
you
but
for
I didn't
the-
realize how much work.
It's a lot of work.
It's been the last
Fuck.
year. I've tried to get Isa to come work out, hang out, do all kinds of shit with me. He's like, man, I gotta go to school, or I'm doing this. I
I mean,
gotta
to the
have
point
time for
where
the family.
we became like jack of all trades. Honestly, the
Doing
hardest
it all,
part
man.
that we faced one night is we're doing the plumbing thing, and the plumber comes and looks at it, and he goes, "Yeah, this is not good. Like, we need to jackhammer this area." Because the
shit.
drain,
4
because the
feet
main
down.
drain, because the main drain was up too high, so there's no like, from where we wanted to install the sinks to the
Right.
main drain, there's no slope. So we're like, okay, and he was like, if you don't dig that by tonight, I'll see you in
Can't
the
pass
new
you.
year, like in January. And we were in December, and I was like, no, like you can't push us like 3 weeks just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I looked at Isa, I was like, bro,
Let's make it happen.
we going to Home Depot. We renting that tool. We come back here and we
Jackhammer
jackhammering this shit. And me and Isa did it until like midnight. We sent her a
Fuck shit
picture.
up, man.
Yeah,
Can't-
we did that on
We're
our
talking about
like,
Bob the
bro,
Builder mode. But
Really?
Yes,
but
with
that's what
jackhammer-
it
Have you ever
takes,
done it
man.
before? Use a
never done
jackhammer?
it. We never done
Did
it.
you get on YouTube
But
and look
I
up
was,
a
I was
video?
familiar, you know what I mean? I've
They're
seen it
making
done so
pretty
many
nice
times.
nowadays. They're making pretty light. You know, what I'm
Pretty
saying?
easy to use.
You just got to
It's
put
very
some muscles in
challenging.
it. You know,
Yeah.
it took a lot. It
Very
took like
challenging.
5 hours. But man, that's how
That's
dedicated
part of the challenge
we've
that we
been,
faced.
that
You know
we
what I
are,
mean?
that-
Like obstacles throughout the construction, like you have to do that
Right.
is not
Well,
in
yeah,
the
you got to
plan.
work through all the
Exactly.
shit that's
Exactly.
thrown at you,
Exactly.
right? I mean, that's just
Exactly.
life in general. I mean, I'm running my business,
Exactly.
doing my podcast,
Exactly.
all the stuff that I do is shit's going to happen, and you've just got to be able to figure out how to handle it and move forward.
Exactly.
And sometimes it puts you in a spot that you
like
don't
a
want to be in,
roller
but you got to
coaster.
do it anyways.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But yeah, well, guys, thanks for coming in.
Dave,
Thanks for chatting.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us, man.
Thank you
telling
very
me
much
about-
for having us.
I can't come. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to come check out the shop here
For
soon
sure.
because I haven't been over yet. But thanks for coming on, and as always, guys, we'll catch you next time.
Appreciate it.